Good afternoon and welcome. Thank you for joining us today as we celebrate the President's Award for Global Learning and launch the Reimagine 2022 program. Today, we'll hear from Dr. Sonia Feigenbaum, the University's Senior Vice Provost for Global Engagement, as well as from faculty who in previous years have participated in the program. We'll also have an opportunity for you to network and connect around proposal themes and interests. As UT Austin faculty, you're all experts in fields that are increasingly global in their nature and outlook, and we're committed to supporting you. The President's Award for Global Learning is part of that commitment. Designed to be both innovative and impactful, the award is also part of our university's commitment to a broad international outlook. We want to prepare UT Austin students to lead in a global world. We do this by giving them opportunities to conduct research in ways that enable them to confront challenges through collaboration and acquire a greater appreciation for cultural differences. Interdisciplinary student and faculty teams develop projects that put our motto, "What starts here changes the world," into action and deepen UT Austin's global engagement. The program also enables faculty to build international partnerships with peers, industry experts, and academic leaders. We're excited to announce that the President's Award for Global Learning is now focused on increasing student participation. Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. Henning Krake. Henning is the chairman of Douglas Holding AG, a European retail conglomerate that he successfully developed into a leading pan-European specialty retailer. A proud Longhorn, he holds both bachelor's and master's degrees in business administration from UT Austin, as well as a PhD in political science from Christian Albrecht Universität in Kiel, Germany. Along with his wife and fellow Longhorn Jane, Henning is a longtime supporter of the university, the Macomb School of Business, and the Moody College. He's also chair of the university's International Board of Advisors. Over to you, Henning.
Hello, everyone. My name is Henning Krake, and I am the current chairman of UT's International Board of Advisors. I'd like to welcome all of you to the kickoff of the new President's Award for Global Learning. The President's Award for Global Learning was first established in 2018 as the signature program of the IBA. The program has created a lot of buzz around the UT campus because it is student-driven, very interdisciplinary, relies on excellent faculty mentorship, and has a truly global reach. Since the inception of the program, it has funded 17 exciting projects literally around the globe, with teams consisting of 78 students and 48 faculty mentors. As a result of these programs, these participants have secured internships with international partners. They've presented their research at professional conferences, and they've created learning opportunities for the UT Austin campus through interactive exhibits. For this fourth cohort of the President's Award for Global Learning, the program has been fully reimagined in order to further increase student access and faculty involvement, and to be even more responsive to the changing global environment. All of us at the IBA are very eager to watch this reimagined President's Award for Global Learning program go live and to see its impact on global engagement at UT Austin. From the bottom of my heart, I wish all of the participants of today's kickoff the very best, and please stay safe and healthy. Hook 'em horns.
Thank you, Henning. I'd now like to ask Dr. Feigenbaum to join me as we highlight the history and new features of the President's Award. Hi, Sonia, how are you doing?
Great, how are you? Thank you, President Hartzell, and it's great to see you.
Great to see you.
I'd love to see you in person, but this is good for now. And good afternoon, everyone. Delighted to be here with everybody.
Great, thank you. And maybe you could just start by telling us a bit about the history of the President's Award for Global Learning.
Sure. Well, I think I want to repeat a couple of things just to talk about the magnitude of this program that Dr. Krake just mentioned. You know, the President's Award for Global Learning was launched in 2018, and it is the signature program of the International Board of Advisors. Since then, we've had 17 teams that have received the award, and that includes 48 undergraduate students, 19 graduate students, and 45 faculty members. And while that may seem like small numbers, the impact that the program has had on the faculty and the students has been really a resounding success. It's and it continues to be a success. The teams have embarked on a variety of projects, from installing air sensors in India and researching health and housing needs in Mexico to STEM education, teacher training camps in Jamaica, and now to designing sustainable fashion accessories with partners in Denmark. So a little bit later, we're going to hear from two of our faculty awardees, and we'll listen to their experiences with the program.
Great, thanks, Sonia. As many of you know, in fall of 2020, we convened a task force to review the program based on assessment data that we compiled from previous cohorts. The task force was charged with recommending changes to the program that can make it even more responsive to the global environment and also support the foundational principles of student-driven learning and strong faculty mentorship. It's important to me, and I think to all of us, that the President's Award for Global Learning remain responsive to the changing international landscape. Sonia?
You know, I couldn't agree with you more, President Hartzell. The goals for the President Awards for Global Learning are responsive to these changes, and they align with the university's mission and commitment to global engagement. The program draws on the strengths of the UT faculty to facilitate interdisciplinary work and facilitate student connections around global challenges that are best addressed from multiple perspectives and disciplines. We are really proud that the President's Award for Global Learning supports UT faculty in deepening and strengthening existing international partnerships and in fostering new collaborations while developing academic inquiry and leadership in undergraduate students. As we move forward and as we've conceptualized this new revision of the President's Award for Global Learning, we are going to increasingly leverage technology to create meaningful virtual collaborations and incorporate in-country learning into the classroom experience. So the President's Award for Global Learning will continue to expand global engagement at UT Austin. It will continue to engage the Austin community and Texas by sharing project outcomes as they become available.
Thank you, Sonia. You talked a little bit about how things are going to continue, but as we mentioned earlier, we're also having some changes to the program. Could you share some of the things that are changing?
Yes, let's think about this in terms of 4 buckets. I mentioned earlier that the idea of having interdisciplinary teams of 2 to 3 faculty members is going to be key for the success of the program. 2 to 3 faculty members are going to come together. They will identify a global challenge, and these teams will develop a proposal and submit it by the June 15th deadline. Upon receiving the award, the faculty teams are going to recruit multiple student teams to propose projects within the awarded theme and the region. And so this shift is going to ensure several things. Number 1, that the student projects are feasible. Number 2, that we promote sustainability through ongoing faculty collaboration with the international partner before everything starts, and that we increase access for students and allow more students to participate. There will be 8 to 12 students now participating. A second bucket is going to have to do with travel, and we were really thoughtful about how we were going to engage with travel. You can have up to 2 trips for this project to the project site, or there can be more than 1 project site, or you can travel, that's for a total of 4 weeks. So you can travel, so you can split the travel, or you can travel once for 4 weeks. And this is going to allow students and faculty to gain an understanding of the host country and the challenges before implementing a solution. The third bucket will have to do with the roles of the faculty. We wanted everybody on the team to be an equal partner, so all faculty will receive a $9,000 honorarium with the same level of effort required, so that it is truly promoting interdisciplinary collaboration and co-teaching. And then each group team will receive funds of $5,000 per implementation. So this really was the elevator pitch for the program guidelines, and our team is going to be hands-on to answer questions, not just today, but throughout the next few weeks and beyond.
Great, thanks, Sonia. It's a great elevator pitch. We also, I know, wanted to take time to hear from a couple of our faculty. So I'd like to now introduce 2 faculty who participated in the President's Award for Global Learning. Dr. Sharmila Rudrappa is the director of the South Asia Institute and professor of sociology in the College of Liberal Arts. Dr. Ricardo Ainsley is the MK Hague, we can tell you. Hague, thank you, Centennial Professor of Education, director of the Lee Los Benson Mexico Center, and director of education and research for AMPATH Mexico at the Dell Medical School. Sonia, they're in your hands.
Thanks so much, and it's so wonderful to have you both. Of course, everybody's curious about your experience, and I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions, but I also want to volunteer your experience to all of the faculty that are here with us, and to make sure that they can reach out to you if they have any questions. But let me start with you, Dr. Rudrappa. Can you tell us about your experience with the President's Award and what it's been like working with the students?
Yeah. First of all, let me thank all of the attendees for being here. I'm happy to answer questions over email. You can reach me. And also thank you, Dr. Feigenbaum, for inviting us to be a part of this. I've worked with 2 student teams so far in the various iterations. The first team was in 2018, 2019. It was a group of students who worked in the Republic of Georgia, and they studied maternal health outcomes. The question was this, right? The country is incredibly resource poor, yet has fantastic postnatal and maternal health outcomes. So the question was, how is it that they're able to deliver such fantastic results with such a poor economy? So that was their research. The following year, in 2019, 2020, I worked with a group of students who developed a phone app for healthcare providers in the South Indian city of Chennai to work with LGBTQI individuals who have very severe restrictions to accessing healthcare. So the team actually had a bit of difficulties doing the work because of COVID. They were unable to actually attend and do their field work, but they did a brilliant piece of work online, and they were able to get the program off the ground. And they've actually delivered the app to a couple of NGOs in Chennai that works with LGBTQI health concerns. I wanted to say that a couple of words about the teams. They were incredibly diverse. They came from diverse class backgrounds, diverse geographical backgrounds within the US and within Texas. Also racial diversity as well, and sexual diversity, in that students identified across the board in terms of sexuality, right? And let me read for you a list of the majors that were represented. They were computer science, biology and marketing, neuroscience, mechanical engineering, Plan 2, history, and government. So it was really, really a wonderful experience working with some of our students. I'm happy to answer more questions over email or subsequently.
Thank you so much. And of course, I have so many questions. And what I think is really wonderful is the fact that you've engaged with such different parts of the world. You've had students that have come from different backgrounds, and this really speaks to the strength of the program and also to your dedication. And so we're really grateful for that. And now we have Dr. Ainsley, who's been working in a different context. And I'm really curious about your experience and wanting to know whether you can share what it's been like to work with other faculty members on your team.
Thank you, Sonia, and thank you, Dr. Hartzell. It's really terrific to be part of this, because I'm a real believer in this program, and I've certainly witnessed firsthand its power to affect students and faculty collaborations, and to affect the work with colleagues in other countries, in our case, specifically with Mexico. You know, our project started as the Mexico Center had done collaborations with Dell Medical School, and we put together a program that brought up a lot of about 15 to 17 health researchers from Mexico. And through that, I got to know Tim Mercer, who's the head of global health at Dell Medical School. and also Peter Ward, whom I already knew, who's a faculty member at the LBJ School, but had never worked with him. I knew of his work, but I didn't have any firsthand experience working with him. And so when the call for proposals came out, the three of us, it was just a very good fit because Tim Mercer had a lot of experience with population health issues. Peter Ward had a long history of doing research on housing and health, especially in Latin America. And I've done work in communities in Mexico, but also I'm a psychologist. And so I brought the mental health piece to health to our project. And so the three of us really fit together very well and also got along very well, which is a real bonus. And so we recruited these 4 students at the time. That was the number on each team. And also they were quite interdisciplinary. We had a student from McCombs, a student from engineering, a student from psychology, and a student from biology. Very different in their temperaments, backgrounds, training, dispositions. And we all came together to work really well over the course of almost a year, really. First, creating the actual structure to the study, that is creating an extensive health needs assessment that we deployed in 4 communities in the state of Puebla. Puebla is the 5th or 6th, depending on what criteria you use, poorest state in Mexico. And 3 of the communities we studied were rural communities. One was an urban community. And this project brought together our 3 disciplines, basically, with our students. And we created this 240-item survey about health needs, health practices, the problems people faced health-wise, the relationship between housing and health in terms of quality of water, quality of air, and in these rural communities, for example, almost all the cooking is done with wood. So tremendous respiratory problems and so on. And so, and we also included mental health measures. So we were very proud of the instrument that we developed. And then being on the ground in Puebla, we went into, I think it was 250 different homes and conducted these surveys as teams. And so the faculty worked really close together with these students throughout. And one of the things that we teamed up with the Benemérita Universidad Autónoma de Puebla, the largest public university in the state and with the largest medical school in the state, which actually whose graduates provide services in many of these communities. So we integrated some of the BUAP medical students into our teams. And out of this came what is now a really a very compelling collaboration with BUAP, between BUAP and the medical school here at home. And we have put on some really tremendous programs. In the fall, we'd had a U.S.-Mexico COVID response series of panels that drew over 600 people. We have just started a monthly seminar on diabetes because our needs assessment indicated that was the single most important crisis health-wise facing these communities and the entire state and really the entire country. So we have a monthly series on that. We're going to have a joint course with their faculty in the fall. So it's really exciting to see that this President's Award project created the framework and I would say also the mindset to carry the work forward. I mean, the students have all graduated and they've gone on and we presented papers, we wrote things with them, they presented at conferences. But, now we're continuing this work from the start, we really knew we didn't want it to just be a kind of a one-off project. We wanted something that would have a long-term impact and continuing impact. And, we have a weekly research and education meeting with BUAP. So it's all truly thanks to the President's Award. So I'm really grateful to it.
Thank you so much, Rico. I think there are a couple takeaway messages here. The first one is that there are faculty members who simply don't know each other, but would be able to work together in ways that
Right.
one could not imagine. And I think that's really important. And it will be really interesting for us to bring faculty members together for the new iteration of the President's Award for Global Learning. Another takeaway message is the fact that starting with the President's Awards for Global Learning, there have been so many new linkages that have happened, not just institutional linkages and partnerships, but also there's been an influence and an impact on the students that have been engaging with all three of your projects, whether they were in Georgia or in India or in Mexico. And I think that's really valuable. And then another takeaway message is the fact that essentially we are here to support the faculty in dreaming about what it is that they can do together in ways that they haven't done in the past. And so to that end, I'd like to go, thank you so much for answering some questions. I'm going to volunteer you in terms of any connections that you can make with our faculty who are interested in applying for this opportunity and in being part of the President's Awards for Global Learning. But I'd also like to take a few minutes to go over the very broad stroke details on how to apply. So I would like to thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
And for everything you've done for our students and for your collegiality. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
Let
you.
me, thank you. Let's turn over to look at essentially some of the criteria that you'll need to think about as as faculty members when you're proposing a project or conceptualizing a project. So the first thing I would say is, well, how do you apply? You need to, as we've said numerous times here during this meeting, you need to form a team. And to form a team can be daunting if you're a new faculty member and you haven't been here for a long time, or if you've been here for a long time, but you've worked within your own college or school. This is where we're going to be instrumental in supporting you and meeting each other and so forth. Then you need to identify a global challenge and an international partner. And to that, I would say it's really important to think about your project as something that doesn't advance your personal research, but where you can think about your research and how it complements the research of your team members. So that way the interdisciplinarity is really important and strengthens the challenge that you're thinking of addressing. You know that the submission of proposals is going to be June 15th. We're going to be here to support you throughout the entire time. And in terms of the faculty requirements, what is required on the next slide, this is open to all faculty members, except those that the faculty members that have an administrative position on top of a faculty appointment are not eligible. So that would be the second slide that you have. And then the other thing that I'd like to do is review the timeline. And these details are provided here. Simply, it's really important for you to know what you're signing up for in terms of the impact. There are going to be, you'll be teaching 2 courses essentially in virtual collaboration with the partner, with your international partner. And you're more than welcome to have more than one partner, especially if it's a trans-regional project that you've thought about. There will be a spring course that will be a 3-credit course. And then there is a follow-up course that's really about focusing on the outcomes. that you'll need to think about, and that will be what we consider the outcome course in fall 2022. You are asked to accompany students and the student teams to 1 or 2 international locations, and then depending on the proposal that you've brought together, you may want to travel for 2 weeks once, or for 4 weeks. I mentioned that earlier. And then again, I mentioned the funding, and the funding supports all travel, so all travel is included. And then you have a $5,000 budget for training or equipment and things of the sort. One other thing I would like to call your attention to is we have a series of short films that illustrate the work that has been done in various projects with the prior cohorts. And those will be shared with you during our faculty network receptions and so forth in the future. So essentially, I want to thank you, and I would like to now welcome back President Jer Hartzell, and welcome.
Great. Thanks again, Sonia, and thanks to all of you for joining us today. We hope that you'll consider for this opportunity. And now, to help you meet other colleagues interested in applying for this award, we're going to transition to Zoom for a networking session that will be facilitated by Texas Global. If you're viewing in full screen, if you go ahead and exit the full screen mode, you should be able to see the event title and description below the streaming window. Whenever you're ready, click on the link in the text below, and you can launch the Zoom portion of the event. Thanks again, take care, and hook 'em.